Hey everybody, I'm Psychroclasm, and I've been wanting to try some weird stuff on the channel lately. This isn't going to become a regular thing, but I figured it fits into the category of gaming, and I thought it might be informative to some people. So my father-in-law and I were talking the other day about retro games and arcade machines, and he started talking about games that he used to play, like Missile Command and Defender and stuff like that. And I was still looking for a Christmas gift for him, and that kind of brought me around to getting him a little arcade machine. Now, I could have done the thing where you get one of those little mini things that has like 4 games, or even just 1 game, and you plug it into your TV and you get to play Pac-Man or whatever, but I couldn't find a Missile Command or Defender one, and I decided to go a little bit bigger. Not quite as big as those weird little arcade machines you see in Walmart, and also they're $300. So I decided to take my first trip into the world of the Raspberry Pi. Now, I know a lot of people are daunted by building your own computer, and for people who do build their own computers, it's not that big a deal. It's like everything slots into one slot and it's done. It's just like Legos. You piece it together and you're good. But I picked this up. It's called CanaKit? I don't know if that's like short for Canada Kit or Cannabis Kit or what. And I also picked up these non-branded wireless game controllers that were highly recommended for it. But I do want to point something out, and I'm going to have to make sure the autofocus kicks back in after this. Supported operating systems, it does not list... come on. Okay, let's try this one. There we go. Ah, fuck. Supported operating systems: Windows 98, ME, Vista, 2000, 2003, XP, etc. Like, XP is the last on their list. I'm so scared. But like I said, I've never worked with a Raspberry Pi before, and I feel like, I don't know if it's as daunting to some people as building a full computer, but doing anything new is daunting to me. So I wanted to do this, A, from start to finish, to show you how long it takes with zero experience, and B, hopefully give you guys a good idea if you think there's somebody in your life who would want something like this. Alright, so let me get all this unboxed. So the particular CanaKit I bought was chosen because it was about 80 bucks, and I chose it because it had just about everything that the guide on the RetroPie website said I needed. Hopefully this multi-tool will be all I need, because I can't find my good screwdriver. So from what I understand about Raspberry Pis, their operating systems are stored on SD cards. Dear valued customer. Oh, that is cool! See, that was one of the things that, like, scared me about a Raspberry Pi. I don't know what all the pins do, and they've got this little handy pin guide that they include with the kit. That's really awesome. And then we've got an HDMI cable, which we are going to need. 2 heat sinks. Oh, sweet, they've already got thermal paste on them. Can I move this back? Am I talking into it too loudly? I'll never know until I actually do the audio editing. Then we've got a case for the Raspberry Pi. Okay, in order to avoid physical damage to the micro SD card should not be inserted while assembling the case. That is awesome, and look at it. It comes with an address for an installation video. This is all just set up to be very easy for first-timers. And then my Raspberry Pi 3 Model B will open that last. Look at this. Micro SD card reader. And another address for canakit.com/noobs. All of this is set up for noobs. I love this. And what are you? You are the power supply. Awesome. Alright. And on top of everything, there's this quick start guide, but I think I'm going to work directly from the RetroPie guide, and if I can't figure out what to do, I will come back to the noob guide. Alright, so let's see what we've actually got here in our RetroPie box. Open here! They are so... They know who they're dealing with. Oop, nope! See, that's why it said sorry. Or that's why it said be careful, there's an SD card inside. I literally dropped it as soon as I opened it. Alright. Well, the pins can't be too fragile no matter what they do because they're just exposed in the box. Now, I haven't downloaded the RetroPie software yet because some of the guides I've seen have said it's going to take you like 6 hours to download the software. And I wanted to have an authentic experience with that, because I don't know if that's because like the server is just overloaded or if it's like it's got like small output capabilities, but I wanted to do this all from start to finish and time it just to see how long it takes to get a full working retro console. So it says that the SD card should not be inserted while applying the case, and I'm not applying any other modules. So my assumption here is that I can just go ahead and put on the case, but let me double check for where my SD card is going to go. Okay, so my SD card is going to slide in right here. In case you're wondering why I'm wearing gloves, it's because I didn't want to, like, cut and clean my fingernails just to do this video. Oh, that comes apart really easily. Like, it just sits there, and, like, you just pull it straight off. I didn't know if it was going to snap into place. It actually... It actually doesn't look like it has any snaps, strangely enough. But I like that the logo is cut out, so you can have good ventilation, as well as the back of the case. I don't know how well you can see it from that direction, but the back of the case is also cut out, and it's also got space for each of the heat sinks. And I've worked with computers before, so I'm just going to go ahead and apply the heat sinks. These look like they're pre-pasted, so it's not a big deal. So while I'm doing this, let me explain what heat sinks are. You can see they're these little, almost folded looking pieces of metal, and what they are heat radiators. And on the back of them, you will find thermal paste. And what the thermal paste does is transfers heat from whatever component it's applied to this radiator, and then the radiator disperses the heat so everything doesn't overheat. And I've got 2 chips on here, and it looks like these are kind of appropriately sized for each one. And I might have to take off the gloves because I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this off. Oh wait, I've got a knife, hang on. Yeah, there we go. So once you pull off the little blue sticker, you should have exposed thermal paste. And we're just gonna plunk that down right there. And then we're going to do the other one. And since I don't have my nails available right now, I am using my knife to peel up the edges, which might be a good idea either way. And this isn't going to be all one video start to finish. I mean, it's going to be a video by the time I edit it, but I'm going to have to stop and change equipment configurations about halfway through. Oh no. No! There we go. The second one I got on a little bit crooked. Well, the first one's a little bit crooked, actually. There we go. And now we've got our 2 heat sinks applied. Alright, so now I'm going to actually put the Raspberry Pi into this, and it's fairly simple to see where everything goes. This case is built for the Raspberry Pi 3, which is what we're using. So you, just like a regular computer, you can line up the ports. Although it doesn't look like there are any screw holes to go into these holes on the board like there would be on a standard computer. So it may just sit in the casing. Let's see if the bottom comes out. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if it's supposed to come out, but it does. Yeah, still no screws, but oh shit. Oh no! I've forgotten which way everything goes. Okay, so the SD card slot is on the opposite side. Okay, so that's good. I can see right here is the SD card slot, and then I can line that up with the SD card slot on my actual Raspberry Pi. So we'll just load that up. Oh, okay, see, it doesn't need screws because you can see right here it's fitting up under these edges, so it'll hold it in place. And I'm just going to apply gentle pressure to force the other side down, and it looks like everything's flush and level. And then let's apply the top of the case back to it. Please go on smoothly. I don't want to break this thing. Yay! I'm really hoping that was the case snapping and not the motherboard. Okay, there we go. Took a little bit more force than I thought it would, but there we go. We've got our exposed heat sinks, and we should be good to just stick the cap back on. Yeah, and you can see, I'm gonna try and get a good view of that. Come on. It keeps trying to focus on my hands. Come on. Anyway, the SD card slot is exposed. So now we've assembled the case for our Raspberry Pi, and now what we've got to do is start working with the software. Well, I say we've assembled the case. Let's go ahead and stick this back on top. Does it matter which way it goes? Yes, it does. So I picked this case for my recipient's specific needs, just because there are a lot of pets in the house, and having wired controllers was going to be a problem. But I have seen a ton of cool projects that use wireless controllers or actually turn the Raspberry Pi itself into a like a fight stick. It's the base, and then there's a joystick and glowing buttons. It's really cool. I'll link that in the description. So if you've got a situation where you can be wired to the TV, it's awesome looking. Like, it's super cheap to do, and it was really impressive. But that's not what's going to work for me. I needed the wireless non-branded controllers. So if you Google RetroPie setup, this is going to be the first page you come to, retropie.org.uk/docs/first installation. And it gives you a pretty good rundown of how to even get started. Now, it doesn't tell you how to assemble the RetroPie, or the Raspberry Pi, but we just walked through it, and I didn't crack a guide. I just kind of assumed where everything went, and everything seemed to work out fine. Although I probably should have powered it on to make sure the Pi even works. But the first thing we need to do is download the version of RetroPie that we need. Now, I'm using a Raspberry Pi 3B, which means I need to download that version. I'm not gonna open this in this page. I'm just gonna go to the download page. Let's see. We're gonna need the Raspberry Pi 2/3. That took a few minutes, so we're gonna show this in the folder, and then we're going to extract it using, I think I'm using WinRAR at this point. Alright, scroll down here. Open it up, and we've got our image. Now, what it says we need to do next is to use Etcher or Win32 Disk Imager, which is the one I'm more familiar with, but I don't have it downloaded at the moment, which is good because I'm trying to do a comprehensive guide for how long this actually takes. And it takes seconds for me to download. And now we've got our disk imager. So thankfully the Canon kit I bought comes with an SD card reader as well as the SD card. So this is super simple. Oh, this is a weird little, I've never actually seen an SD card reader quite like this. You actually stick the SD card into the USB portion of it. That seems kind of dangerous, but I trust them. So let's crack open the SD card itself. And it fits in there real snug. Oh, come on. Now I want you to focus on something that's not me and you won't fucking do it. Yeah, it fits in there real snug. So let's see if this actually works. Like I said, I've never used this type of SD card reader before, so this is going to be interesting. It pops up. Okay, it looks like it's preloaded with this. And what I'm concerned about here is that overwriting this is going to be a problem. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and make a copy of everything here. Recovery files, do not edit. So I'm going to go ahead and make a copy. In fact, you know what? Let's back out real quick. I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to make a copy to my desktop. Because there's every chance I'm about to ruin everything. All right, so we've made our copies. Gonna head to download, open our RetroPie image. And here we go. The thing about an image file is that it doesn't work the way a regular file does. It's almost like painting. You basically cover, it's really hard to explain. An image file is a function more than a file. An image file is a collection of files almost. It's kind of like installing Windows. Like it just takes over whatever's there and functions on its own regardless of what you started with. So hopefully the RetroPie image needs to be taking over the entire disk. I probably should have done some research before doing this, huh? But there were specific instructions for installing it on top of an operating system, so hopefully that won't need to be the case. Okay, so it said the write was successful. I do not want to format the disk because it should be exactly what I want right now. Okay, so it's time for another equipment change. I want to hook it up so I can actually power up the Pi and see if anything what we get. Alright, so for this video I have to borrow my Elgato to stream what's on the Raspberry Pi screen. So I'm about to plug it in for the first time. Let's see what happens. Ooh. Resized root file system, rebooting in blank seconds. Okay. Oh shit! That was incredibly easy. Okay. Cool beans. So, in roughly 30 minutes, having never touched a Raspberry Pi before, I have what appears to be a working RetroPie. This is cool as shit. Okay, so wow, this is going better than I could have expected. See, I got used to looking at the big camera, now I won't look at this one. Man, I didn't expect this to go this well. I expected to have to troubleshoot. So I'm unboxing this. I'm unboxing the No Name brand controller for the first time. Hopefully it has a charge on it. I'm just gonna try and go straight for it. Everything else is working out in my favor. Why wouldn't this? Okay, so this one doesn't appear to have a charge on it. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna switch to my Xbox controller and then work from there. Because I know not everybody's gonna want to use one of these retro controllers anyway. And I also thought that I was going to have to set it up with a keyboard first, so this is kind of a surprise that it's asking me just to set up the gamepad. Alright, gamepad detected now? Oh shit, this is so easy! D-pad up, D-pad down, D-pad left, D-pad right, start, select. Oh. I'm going to map them by letter, just in case, but you can map them however you want, because you can, as you can obviously tell, this is based on the old Nintendo architecture, so, come on, focus. This is based on the old Nintendo architecture, so the buttons are kind of reversed in position. So, A, B, X, Y, left shoulder, right shoulder, left trigger, right trigger, left thumb? Okay, so click it, up, down, left, right, up, down, left, left, left. Oh, that's a hiccup. Huh. Okay, so that's a problem. But I'll go ahead and skip it. Yeah, that is really weird. My right stick left definitely works, but we'll skip it. And then we'll assign that one to right. And then I will reassign this and skip it and say okay. Okay, you didn't choose a hotkey enable button. This is required for exiting games with a controller. Do you want to use the select button default? I will say yes. Yes. Sweet. So, the RetroPie comes with a bunch of emulators. And it won't display those emulators unless you have a game available for that emulator. And it can play PS1 games, apparently. So, let's just see what this is. This looks like a configuration tool, maybe, but we'll see. Okay, so yeah, this is a configuration tool. So let's quit that. So I think I need to... Yeah, I think I need to set up Wi-Fi. Because the guide says that I can transfer files to this over Wi-Fi. So give me a second to do that. Okay, so you don't currently have your Wi-Fi country set and blah, 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 blah. Sure. Yes, launch it for me, please. Okay, so... Now, for some reason, B seems to be my select button here. So change locale. And then, holy fuck balls. We're gonna just take its advice. What the hell? There's a bunch of UTF-8s. How do I know which one I need? I'm just gonna say all locales. Okay, I think I might need a mouse because I can't figure out how to get out of this menu. Okay, so I'm just gonna move on to configure network settings. Okay, so we want to choose a host name, which is just going to set up a visible name for this. And only A through Z, the digits 0 through 9, and the hyphen. Okay. RetroPie booty. Cool, we did it. Alright, so this is where I'm going to want to enter my Wi-Fi information, which for legal reasons I will not show you. Oh, so this is probably what I was looking for earlier. Can I please just, like, scroll to the bottom of the list? Yeah, having a keyboard makes this like a billion times easier because for some reason it doesn't like to just let me scroll with the stick. Wi-Fi country set to US. Holy shit, I don't remember. Okay. Whoop. Daisy. So it didn't say anything about whether or not it was configured properly, it just let me put that stuff in. So it looks like we might be okay. Yes, let's reboot it. So I know we haven't done much, but I was kind of checking the Pi to see if it was warm at all, and it's not. That's really impressive. So I've got the Wi-Fi settings set up. Let's see if we can transfer some ROMs. All right, so I decided that since I'm going to be the one loading the games on it anyway, I might as well just go with the USB method. And it says that you need to have it formatted to FAT32 or NTFS, which is usually the default state for a USB stick you buy from the store. But it also says that you have to plug it in the Pi and wait for it to finish blinking. The problem here is that I don't have a lot of USB sticks that have a right indicator light, but fortunately I was able to find this one, so hopefully everything will work out fine. And we got a blank drive, so we're going to create a folder called RetroPie. My keyboard's still on the floor, give me a second. And then I unplug it and plug it into the Pi. Blink twice and it's done. And then, oh, nope, it's blinking again. They should probably be more specific about that, but I really shouldn't complain because I'm less than an hour in at this point, and having no experience and having never touched a Raspberry Pi before, I have what appears to be a working RetroPie installation. All right, so it took about a minute for it to stop blinking again. I'm gonna assume it's right this time. I'm gonna pop it out. And now there's roughly 20 megs of data on here. So it installed something just by virtue of having the file there. Add ROMs to their respective folders. So, oh, okay, we got subfolders here. Holy shit, that's a lot of emulators. Okay, there are plenty of videos online about how to dump the ROMs of games you own. And that's what's legal. You can only have ROMs of games you own. So let me go find some games that I can prove I own. I can prove I own Spyro, and I don't necessarily want to start with a PlayStation game because I'm terrified that it's going to kill the Pi, but I'm going to move it over as a final test. Like, I'll escalate to that because I'm not clear on how well the analog sticks are going to work right now because it wouldn't register my left press on the analog stick. Although for Missile Command and Defender, the games I'm going to put in for my father-in-law, shouldn't be a problem. All right, so let's go super simple. I have a lot of games here. Where is... I've got all the Pokemon games, right? Okay, there they are. Let's move Yellow over. In fact, I'm going to put it in both the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color folders. Hang on, unselect that. Because Pokemon Yellow was actually made for the Game Boy, but it had color palettes installed in it. So we're going to test it on both systems and see what we get. Okay. So I've got my ROMs. Take it out and plug it back into the Pi. Double blink. Bunch of blinks. Okay, there we go. So I wonder how much, because it took a minute to create 20 megs worth of files. I put in nearly okay, I was gonna say I put in nearly, nope, it's still going. I put in 3 files, nearly a gig of data. So it did. It's not doing like a consistent number of blinks. I don't know how long I need to leave this. Like, I really wish there was a better indicator for how long this should take. So it's been roughly 5 minutes, and the flash drive has stopped blinking. So I'm supposed to reset it. And hopefully I should have games. What? Okay. So I've got Game Boy and Pokemon Yellow. And I can't hear it right now, so I'm just watching. Oh, shit! This is so cool! So less than an hour, 0 experience, and I've got a working emulator that can just be plugged into any modern TV and played with an Xbox controller. This is badass. I'm so happy right now. You have no idea. Oh my god. This is so cool, man. This is so cool. So now I gotta figure out why the PlayStation thing isn't working. Okay, so I think I might have found the solution. I had to look this up. But when you unpack a PlayStation image, you get both a binary and a Q file. Apparently, you also need the Q file. Well, the solution I said you need to unpack the binary and Q files, which I don't know if that means, like, this is a compressed file and also needs to be taken out to its barest minimum file level. But we're going to try it with just the binary and the Q file and see if that gets us the desired result. Like, I don't care if it plays well, I just want to see if it plays, because this is a game changer for me. Alright, so we got the bin and the Q files both installed. We're going to reset. And I'm not going to try and force it. It did say trying to load PlayStation emulator. So I think we've succeeded here. No fucking way. I'm sure there's going to be some audio mess ups because it's playing through my speakers right now. Yeah, B is for some reason still select for me. Or it's confirm.
Okay, rolling. Oh, it's been peaceful here.
I'm just gonna skip it. I've gotta see how well it plays. Oh my god. This is so weird because the controls are like rotated basically. So I'd have to reconfigure the controller, but this overall is badass. This is so cool. Like, it's not slow. I mean, it's grainy as all fuck, but I think that's accurate. This is so cool. Like, aside from the annoying black ring, this is so fucking cool. I'm so excited. Like, an hour's worth of work, having no experience. If that doesn't give you confidence that you can do this too, this is the coolest thing, man. This is so cool. Gosh. If I missed anything that you want to have an answer to, let me know in the comments. But, I mean, I think I've covered the basics. Like, start to finish, assembly. Like, I didn't show plugging in the cables, but it's like plugging in a cable to your TV. It only fits one place. It uses a micro USB plug. I thought there was going to be like a DC charger, but there's not. It came with a 2.5 amp micro USB charger, and apparently that's very important. But yeah, it's super duper simple here. Like that's it. Like it's just there and it's done. This is beautiful, and now I'm gonna have to build one for myself. But if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll try and answer them as best I can. But until the next video, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and maybe consider doing this for yourself or a loved one for a holidays. Alright, one last thing. I did say that I could prove that I own Pokemon Yellow, and I do. Yeah. And I've shown Spyro on camera before, so I'm not worried about it. But while I was looking, I found this treasure trove of nostalgia. My original Game Boy Pocket. This bag right here is going to be a blast from the past for somebody. My originally gray translucent Game Boy Advance, and is now very yellowed. Which is weird because the inside of this is purple. You'd think if that had worn off it would turn it purple, but I know it's just the fire retardant plastic. And then of course there's some other games in here. Strangely enough, Pokemon Silver, my favorite one, is missing, but I do still have Gold in here, and there's a couple of other favorites. Game & Watch, and then Zelda, Four Swords, and possibly my favorite RPG of all time, Golden Sun. There was just something about it, man. Like, the summons weren't like moving models, but I don't know, they just... I don't know, it just all worked. But I also wanted to take a minute to thank CanaKit. This is not a sponsored video, but it is solely thanks to their idiot proofing, like telling me not to put things in certain places before I did other steps, just being written on the box. They made it idiot proof, and I really appreciate it. And I want to thank CanaKit, and I also want to thank the people who made RetroPie for making little projects like these possible. And originally I wanted to do this as a gift, but now I'm at a point where it's like, I need one of these, and it's like, how many more people can I give these to? And that, plus bringing back the nostalgia of my old game systems, just really grateful for that. But that's the real end of the video. Till the next video, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you around.